How's it going, laser bruises? I'm Bobby Sixkilla and welcome back to Route Double. We are currently on Route Current, the route that I didn't even know existed, but we are currently putting it all together. We are Natsuhiko's consciousness inside Watase's mind, which is a damaged mind that we destroyed ourselves. Yeah, it's all starting to fall into place, and I don't know how long this is going to be, but I am excited to get back into it. Let's go, shall we? Watase's team quickly went through Area 4 to begin searching Labo once more. But they failed to find either Salyu or Yuri, and ended up in Area 3. Is it just me, or is something burning? You're right. Where in the world is it coming from? As they traced the smell to its source, they found a fire burning in the emergency staircase. Was the fire not fully put out and it just relit? It appears that the sprinklers weren't able to put it out entirely because it was in the shadow of the staircase. Kazami went to take out a fire hose. Immediately afterwards, Watase found a fire extinguisher beside the fire and felt a sense of danger for some reason. What is this? Captain, I've got the hose. Kazami soon started to come back with the fire hose. Tachibana, stay back. Retreat. Huh? In that moment, countless warning sirens blared away inside Watase's head. Look out! My leg. Kazami injured her leg. Watase parted with Yukita and brought Kazami to the surveillance room. And after he treated Kazami, Watase chased after Yukita and resumed searching Labo. Watase's search continued fruitlessly, eventually ending at the reference room. Watase looked toward one of the bookshelves inside and found it to be tightly packed with books and theses. Like feces. An introduction to the informational field theory. Author Miyoko Tenkawa. Elementary particles. Information and consciousness. Author Miyoko Tenkawa. ESP synchronization hypothesis. Author Antoine Courbet. Translator Miyoko Tenkawa. Cerebrum. Labyrinth of psychology. Author Ryokin Kashiwagi. Unbinding from pseudoscience. The future and prospects of parapsychology. Author Koki Sumida. Before Crime, After Days. Author Shikage Sonomura. Particles, the Mind and the Brain. Author Shuya Eriguchi. A lot of these seem to be written by Mum, but information field? ESP synchronization? What on earth is Mum researching? Do those things relate to nuclear power research? As if influenced by the curiosity in Natsuhiko's consciousness, Watase picked up the book An Introduction to the Informational Field Theory. Author Miyoko Tenkawa. An Introduction to the Informational Field Theory. Forward. In modern physics, all phenomena that shape the natural world can be explained with four fundamental forces, but these are phenomena such as accelerating universe and so on that cannot be explained by these four fundamental forces alone. It has become clear from recent high-precision observation that the rate at which the universe expands accelerates with time. It is from that survey that the theory of unknown energy, known as dark energy, repulsive gravity, was born. But if dark energy supposedly does exist, then what is it? Various conjectures have been conceived, but they are all merely speculation. Thus, I continue to look into that force from the perspective of an elementary particle physicist and formulated a hypothesis. Could it be information? If a fifth fundamental force does indeed exist, there is a high possibility that it is in fact information. I used a numerical formula to express the equivalence of information volume and energy, and then after deriving its value, I discovered that said value completely matched up with the rate of universal expansion. In other words, dark energy? I don't really get it, but Mum seems to think its true form is information. Huh. Now that I think about it, Professor Tsubakiyama said that information is a type of energy during your lecture too, didn't she? But what is this thesis trying to say then? The following conjecture is based off this theory. Even information itself can exist independently and can possibly be conveyed without the use of other forces as an intermediary. For example, since a human's thoughts are a type of information, they can communicate with others without the need of these thoughts to be converted into other mediums, such as electrical signals. This is a somewhat extreme expression I'm using here, but this is the gist of the informational field hypothesis. The informational field is a place where information operates as the fifth fundamental force/energy. If we are to consider this by using the human brain as an example, the informational field generated from thought information may in fact be what we call the consciousness. It is still unclear, as of this point, as to what that process that creates consciousness entails. All we do know is that a consciousness is generated inside the brain when countless memories equal fragments of information, and electrical signals running through the synapses interact. However, another conjecture can be formed when you think on the basis of this hypothesis. If information can exist independently, then that means a consciousness does not necessarily have to form in a brain. If a fixed amount of information gathers in one spot and interacts with each other, a consciousness can be born right there and then. Furthermore, if this information can be controlled, then it should also be possible to artificially create a consciousness. That's what that Yuri is. Artificially create a consciousness? I can't see how that research has anything to do with nuclear power science. No, wait, maybe I'm mistaken. Labo's full name is Sixth Laboratory of Atomic and Biological Organization, right? So maybe Mum wasn't researching the atomic part, but the biological part. Maybe it's both. In conclusion, the various theories laid out in the informational field hypothesis have yet to be proven. But this thesis has been reappraised in a form I've never once expected. This is due to the rapid yet drastic change that has recently swept society. That change is a manifestation of BC. If information is an energy, then that can be used to generate power. Maybe they're figuring out a way to generate power with information. The ability known as BC has been widely acknowledged by society in the last few years. It can be said that this has resulted in mindsets toward the nature of information and ways of communication to undergo tremendous changes. We have also discovered countless people who possess this ability that we never would have conceived as feasible mere years ago. The abilities of BC can be generally classified into two groups. The first one is telepathy, the ability to directly send your voice to another's mind. The other is empathy, the ability to read the voice of another's mind. By describing these two abilities with these extremely coherent terms, we can explain them separately. When BC is used, the user's thought information is not conveyed into another medium. They communicate with the target by sending that thought information directly into the target's brain by using elementary particles as an intermediary. This matches up with what I propose in my informational field hypothesis. Two completely unrelated fields of study, parapsychology and elementary particle physics, are connected by BC. Furthermore, while telepathy practitioners are still few, empathy practitioners are even rarer. But the true number of users is not what's important here. It's the fact that an ability such as empathy exists, and also the fact that the extension of information known as the voice of the mind can be observed by others despite previously being unknown to those other than the thinker themselves. This is indeed the first and biggest paradigm shift of the 21st century. She's suddenly talking about BC now. Creating a consciousness, nuclear power, biology, BC. How do these four things connect? As Natsuhiko harbored that question, Watase suddenly spoke up. The ability to read another's mind. Various doubts suddenly rose up in Watase's mind. Why did Yuri disappear? Why did Sally run away? Why haven't the other three survivors been found yet? But the strongest thought in Watase's mind was, if those kids can read people's minds, and when you take into account that they've been running from us, then maybe one of us hates them and they know it. Yeah, it's you. Natsuhiko was frightened by the conclusion Watase was drawing towards. There was an extremely high probability that the girl who called herself Yuri was a communicator, and it was most likely true that Yuri and Sally were running away from someone who hated them. The only thing Watase was missing was the self-awareness that the one who hated them was none other than himself. Crap, if Watase realizes that fact... Communicators aren't human. They're mind-corrupting monsters. This is a monster hunt. Kill or be killed. Kill, 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 kill. Natsuhiko's consciousness vividly recalled the hatred and murderous intent he had seen within Watase back then. Damn it, I need to do something about Watase's memory right away. But as soon as Natsuhiko tried to intervene with Watase's memory... Watase was suddenly struck by an intense headache. Why? I haven't even done anything yet. In light of the unexpected situation, Natsuhiko panicked and loosened his concentration. Watase flew out of the reference room and rushed into a nearby restroom. No matter how much he washed his face with cold water, Watase's headache would not subside. Watase even spewed out gastric juices, leaving Natsuhiko confused. Are these effects of radiation? Or maybe Watase himself doesn't want to remember. Is he refusing to remember that he was full of malice, and this is a result of that rejection? Watase's own feelings of intense confusion were propagated to Natsuhiko. Damn it, I'm thinking about way too much at once. There might be monsters out there who can read people's minds. As soon as Watase had that thought, a bizarre spectacle flickered before his eyes. What was that? Don't tell me Watase's memories are threatening to return. In shock, Natsuhiko strongly appealed to Watase. That's enough, sorry. Watase Kasasagi, don't think too deeply about it. But it had the opposite effect. Wait, could this auditory hallucination been trying to control me? No, what if someone's been controlling me this whole time? Then, who was the me that I thought was me up until now? Damn it, Watase, you're starting to jump at shadows. Watase looked at his reflection in the mirror, as if it weren't even his own face. Damn it. What? Or who should I believe in? Oh crap, at this rate he won't even be able to continue the search, will he? Natsuhiko felt an impending sense of danger, but then... You're overthinking things, Watase. Do that and you'll just wuss out to the point where you won't be able to make sense of anything anymore. Inside the mirror was a face of a girl unfamiliar to both Natsuhiko and Watase. What's going on? Is this bastard hallucinating? No, could this be another flashback of a past memory? Watase's mind suddenly reclaimed its composure. Don't overthink things, huh? With that calm whisper, Watase shut off the water. What just happened? Don't tell me. Natsuhiko recalled what was the words Watase had said when he was a murderer. You've precious friends, right? Well, there was someone who was more precious to me than anyone else. Weak, but motivated. Stupid, but gentle. The very embodiment of light to me. Then, was that girl Watase's embodiment of light? But, if Watase suddenly saw her, then... Does that mean my frequent manipulation of his memories has only made them more easy to recover? Watase left the restroom. He didn't seem distracted in the slightest. But Natsuhiko couldn't help but feel a little uneasy about him. And immediately after that, Watase witnessed Ina speaking with Salu. And then, like raging waves, things kept happening one after another. Ina, be careful of the captain. He's a dangerous man. Hey, what's that supposed to mean? Miss Sanamiya, wait! Wait! The two of them rushed to chase after her, but what they found wasn't Salu. That sound was... It came from this way. Let's go. However, they spotted what appeared to be trails of Salu's blood. Let's follow it. Yeah. But at the end of their mad dash was... Wasn't this a blood transfusion pack? Was something like that... What's something like that doing here? Just then, someone locked them inside the emergency stairwell, and Watase discovered a time bomb hidden inside a fire extinguisher. The bomb's countdown commenced. Open! Open up, you goddamn son of a bitch! Watase desperately screamed, but the door wouldn't open. It's no good. As soon as Natsuhiko thought that... Captain Kasasagi, out of the way! It sounds like a silence gun, but it's not got a silencer on it. Why does Professor Tsubakiyama have a gun? Natsuhiko was astonished, but Ina calmly raised her voice. Smash the door down now. Hurry! Right. Watase kicked down the fire door in accordance with Ina's command. The two of them ran away from the bomb. Teach, get down! But the blast never came. Trap? Bomb? Gun? Dud? The quick succession of events left Natsuhiko dumbfounded. It was then that Jun and Ukita came rushing in one after another. Captain, Mr. Bakiyama. I heard a most peculiar sound. What happened? Watase looked at Ina's hands in surprise to see a black luster of a pistol. Mr. Bakiyama? What are you doing with a pistol? But Natsuhiko's surprise was incomparable to theirs. Why would Professor Tsubakiyama have a gun? His doubts about Ina rapidly deepened. She didn't offer Natsuhiko, Mashido and Salu any help when they asked for her cooperation. Mashido said that she wasn't opening her heart to them. But while that may have been true, it wasn't as if Natsuhiko had grown to hate Ina. In Natsuhiko's eyes, Ina was at times gentle, at times strict, and at times charming. An all-around good teacher. And yet here she was, holding a pistol. She was a completely different Ina from the one Natsuhiko had known. Professor, what on earth As soon as he'd had that thought, he recalled the gruesome scene he saw earlier. No, Professor Tsubakiyama isn't a killer. As Natsuhiko shook off that doubt that plagued him, for just a moment, Ukita and Jun began to interrogate Ina. What's the meaning of this? Why do you have something like that with you? Yeah, I thought you were a teacher. Hold on a minute, you're all making a big misunderstanding. This pistol isn't mine, I found it here in Labo. It sounded like a lazy excuse, but Watase told everyone to believe in her. Wait, you believe her? Well, we can't prove otherwise, so yeah, nothing we could do about that. Eventually, at Watase's suggestion, they disassembled the gun and divided the parts between Ukita, Ina, and Jun. But that still didn't clear Natsuhiko's reservations. Professor. As Watase and the others moved towards Area 6 to chase after Salu, a somewhat lonely breeze blew through Natsuhiko's mind. By the time Natsuhiko finally got his mind off Ina, Watase was already alone in Area 6's inner ring. Watase was going room to room searching for Salu. Eventually his eyes fell onto a certain PC monitor. Test subjects in IGF-2R gene I'm not reading this again, you remember this last time. We're not going over this numbers and letters fucking word salad right now. Okay? Okay, you remember from last time. I'm not reading no alphabet soup again. What is this? Subject IGF-2R gene? Observation target? No, more importantly, subject Y, U, September 10th, 2030. September 10th? That's the day everything started changing, wasn't it? What the hell is this file? What does any of this mean? At the same time, Natsuhiko felt something off about some of the descriptors. A bizarre sight suddenly flickered in Watase's brain. What? His memories are coming back again. But why? What's bringing it back? The event took Natsuhiko by surprise, and a second later, Watase fled out of the room. What in the hell's he doing? For some reason, Watase was in complete disarray. His mind was whirling with rage and discomfort. And once again, past memories came back. Why'd you do something so horrible to me back then? I swore I erased that memory. That memory came bursting out nevertheless. So Captain Kasasagi, please let me know your mind. Flee! Huh? Why did I... Bewildered, Watase tottered out of the stairwell. And right after that... The test subjects are dangerous. The test subjects are dangerous? What's gotten into him? Natsuhiko was left in confusion as that idea rose up inside of Watase. Don't tell me. Don't tell me she was a test subject. Is that why reading the document provoked Watase's memories? Natsuhiko panicked and dove deeper into Watase's mind. The test subjects are dangerous. The test subjects are dangerous. The test subjects are dangerous. What the hell was that? What the hell are those words? I don't know them. I've never heard those words before. What is this? It was clear that Watase was fearfully resisting the hatred that was seething within his mind, but the jet black hatred gradually corroded that fear. Painting it out, the hatred then evolved even further into murderous intent. If this keeps up, Watase will revert to how he was back then. I need to do something about his memories. No, but then... Considering the damaged memory erasure inflicted upon Watase, any further memory erasure could very well kill him. And naturally, if Watase died, Natsuhiko would vanish. Then what do I do? How can I seal Watase's hatred? I think there's gotta be a way. Watase was scared of Yuri for some reason. He hated her and wanted to murder her. Even though normally he cared for her and tried to keep her safe, each time his memories threatened to return, so too would his fear, hatred, and murderous intent. In that case, why didn't I just get the jump on Watase? And give him the misconception that she's already dead. That's why she showed up dead. I'm sure that would erase his fear of her, as well as his hatred and murderous intent. That means we never found her body. That means we don't know if she lived or died. He didn't know if it would work. But if he left things as it is, Watase could very well regain his memories. Natsuhiko had no choice but to take chances with his plan. Create an image of a dead Yuri in Watase's memory. And thus Natsuhiko fabricated another memory for Watase. 5 minutes later, Watase remained frozen on the spot as if he were dead. Hey, how long do you plan to stay like that? Driven by anxiety, Natsuhiko called out to Watase. Hey, get a hold of yourself already. How long are you going to space out for? Hurry up and get back to the others. Watase was shaken back to consciousness by Natsuhiko's voice. He then tottered back to the factory where everyone was waiting. Looks like it'd be best for me not to tamper with your memory any further than this. So please, Watase, don't try to regain your memory anymore. Natsuhiko prayed. But the distortion caused by his actions was soon exposed. When Watase reported Yuri's death to everyone, their eyes widened in shock. Impossible, how could she be dead? Was it an accident? Was she murdered? I don't know, I just found her body, that's a fact. Where? Where did you find her? Come with me, it's this way. It all went downhill from there. The body's gone. Good grief, are you sure you weren't just seeing things? I'm not lying, there really was a body here, I swear. There was a girl with blood pouring down her head. She was dead no matter how you looked at it. Blood? I don't see any bloodstains anywhere. Shit, how did I not see this coming? Good point, actually. The problems kept piling on as Natsuhiko stood by unable to do anything. That's what happens when you don't pay attention at school. The AD's gone? This can't be happening. Damn it, how the hell did this happen? How, you ask? It's obvious. Someone stole the AD, that's how. He's right, and what's more, the culprit must be one of us. And there's no way that one of us did it. But when Watase took everyone there to dispel their suspicions, he came face to face with the truth that denied the illusion Natsuhiko had bestowed upon him. Huh? You didn't find a body? Watase was cast in doubt. Were you lying to us? No. I pressed him further. You claimed you went down to the basement to rescue survivors. Perhaps that's yet another lie. And in reality, you came down for a completely different purpose. What different purpose? Isn't it obvious? To kill. And at the end, Wadokita and Jin thrust before Watase. Come on, tell me, Captain. Did you really come here to save lives? With glares of rage and bloodlust. Oh crap. The situation's even worse than last time Watase was cast under doubt. But Natsuhiko is painfully aware of why they doubt Watase. After all, Watase had shot both him and Machido. Natsuhiko vividly recalled Machido's tearful voice and Salyu's wounded body. But now, Watase and I are in the same boat. And I hate to admit it, but the current Watase is a reliable rescue worker. Now that I have no body of my own, I can't save Salyu or Yuri without his help. So I need to do everything I can to clear this bastard of suspicion. He knew he had to, but he didn't know how. But right after that, someone completely unexpected stood up for Watase. Ina. Hold on, you two. You guys are acting a little weird. And yet you turn your backs on him the moment AD disappeared? What kind of sane person does that? No, Professor, if you stick up for Watase in this situation... Jun and Ukita glared at Ina. Why are you on the captain's side after hearing everything we just said? I mean, you barely know the guy, right? Unless the two of you are in cahoots or something. I see, now I get it. I always did think you were acting strange. Now I finally understand you two are planning to just save yourselves and leave the rest of us to die. You were the ones who hid the AD, aren't you? Also, you could have it to yourselves. Jun and Ukita sidled up to Watase and Ina, prompting Natsuhiko to shout a warning to Watase. It's too dangerous. Take Professor Tsubakiyama and run. Heeding Natsuhiko, Watase took Ina's hand and ran. Trying to run? No good. Hold them down. And with those voices at their backs, Watase and Ina fled. Chapter 3. Damn it, lost sight of him. Watase and Ina had escaped their pursuers and were now hiding in Area 2's inner ring. Sounds like they're gone. Yes. Natsuhiko gazed at Ina through Watase's eyes. She had a tense, relentless look on her face that one would never expect to see from a teacher. Professor, I can believe in you, can't I? Natsuhiko thought about how much he wanted to ask her if he could, but that moment, a strange sensation struck him. His five senses suddenly blurred. What is this feeling? He knew that there should have been light, but that there should have been sound, and yet... Why did it stick up for... act there? Because I felt motives too. For some reason he couldn't perceive the words correctly. It was as if he'd been struck with intense drowsiness. Oh no, my consciousness is dulling. Okay, this is... Ina was showing something to Watase, but Natsuhiko couldn't tell what. That's strange, why am I drowsy? Wait, could this be the BC energy? Lingering within Watase was starting to run out. Am I disappearing? Disappearing? Me? My consciousness? No way. Natsuhiko struggled to brace his fading consciousness. And rapidly, we do. Mortabe and the old man, Yukita don't trust me at all, you know? Now, so that's why you became able to understand the subject of their conversation. Well, you're not saying you plan to go alone, are you? Of course I am. If you came along with me, things being the way they are now, all you do is make things harder for me. Well, yeah, I guess, but I'll be right back, so wait here, okay? Apparently Ina intended to leave by herself. Don't do it, Professor. That's clearly way too dangerous. But Watase showed no hint of trying to stop her. Hey, I'm begging you, please stop Professor Tsubakiyama. Natsuhiko shook off his intense drowsiness and mustered all of his consciousness. The sound, the light, all 5 senses came back to life. And at the same time, Watase sprang into action. No, hold on, it's too dangerous. Huh? Those guys are already suspicious of you after the whole gun incident. Anything could happen if they see you now. But then what are we supposed to do? Watase stopped Ina as she was opening the door. Phew, thank goodness. But right as Natsuhiko let himself relax. Damn it! Drowsiness once again seized him in his grasp. Natsuhiko clung to reality in desperate attempt to prevent himself from fading away. And then, I thought of a way to solve all our problems. He could no longer catch the flow of the conversation, but he definitely heard Watase say that. What? A way to solve all our problems? And right then... Why? Ina's groan snapped Natsuhiko's consciousness back to reality once more. I'm sorry, but I need you to take a little nap here for a while. Before he knew it, he saw Ina pass out through Watase's eyes. What do you think you're doing? But Watase just left the room and destroyed its opening mechanism out in the hall. After knocking out Ina, Watase headed toward the heart of Labo. Apparently he intended to put out the fires in the nuclear reactor all by himself. Natsuhiko desperately tried to stop him. Stop it, you dumbass, you'll die! You can't put out the fire of a burning nuclear reactor all by yourself. Even if you could, you'd be exposed to radiation for sure. Someone's got to do it. You want to die that badly? Are you really okay with dying if it means saving everyone else? It's not that I want to die, I just want to save everyone. That's all. Wanting to save people has been the one constant for me this whole time. It was all because you told me to save Yuri, way back when this began. Watase muttered, as if he were talking to himself. Natsuhiko listened silently. It's all I want to do is fulfill my role. I hated feeling so powerless, surrounded by nothing but fire, explosions, and smoke. When we didn't have enough AD, I went running straight into gas in a contaminated zone. When someone fell into a hole, I grabbed their hand and pulled them out. I protected Yuri with my body when the debris threatened to crush her. This whole time, all I've ever thought about is how to save everyone. The moment Watase said that, drowsiness began to eat away at Natsuhiko's consciousness once more. He could tell that this time he was fighting a losing battle to stay conscious. He'd probably disappear soon after this. Watase's voice echoed as Natsuhiko's hearing deafened. I'll be damned if I let others die because of my actions. And the same goes for letting anyone else die because I did nothing. If putting out the reactor fires will save everyone, then I'll do it. Even if I lose my life as a result. Watase's silent determination could be felt even in Natsuhiko's consciousness. There was no lie, no bluff, no pretense in Watase's mind. Only the unadulterated desire to save everyone. Watase, you... But once Natsuhiko said those words, he finally reached his time limit. Ah, damn it. Natsuhiko cursed. He couldn't help but curse. If only you were like that from the start. If only you were a righteous rescue worker, then neither me nor Mashiro nor Sali would have had to suffer like this. That's me. That's Watase Kasasagi. Burn that name into your ears. Carve it into your mind. Reflect on that name until the moment you die. Why, Watase? Why? What made you become a terrorist? That was the one question Natsuhiko found vexing. Watase's voice echoed from far away. You get it now. If you do, then shut up. If you keep talking, I might lose my resolve. Okay, I get it. Natsuhiko calmly prayed. I'll leave the rest to you. I'm leaving Sally, that girl and Professor Tsubakiyama all in your care. Okay? So please, don't let me down. Okay, Watase? I suppose this is a good time to wrap this one up. I imagine we've only got one more episode to go, because we are reaching ahead here. He's heading into Area N, and that's where all the shit hits the fan at the very end. So I would like to know, like, obviously he turned into a terrorist slash killer because the person he loved died, and as far as I'm aware, The person that he loved was in the hospital that was attacked by the terrorists and burned, and she died in that fire, which turned him into a psycho. But we still need to know more about what they're actually testing in this place and who they're testing on, and why he thinks that the BC users are the ones that are responsible for the light of his life to die. I guess we'll find that out in the next episode, or at least I fucking hope so. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.